Another production.
Guaranteed. Drew Marshall. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Natty Bats. We back at it again. Divisional round playoff predictions. Man, we only got 3 more. Pro Bowl doesn't count. We don't count the Pro Bowl. We got 3 more weeks of good quality football. This week, we got 4 games to discuss. Next week, championship week, we got 2 games. Then the Super Bowl, we might have some guests. We talk about recapping the show, recapping bets. Just a nice overall recap of everything. And obviously, Super Bowl predictions. Man, I'm excited. Playoff football is here. It's ready to rock. We got Shabazz. We got Shabazz in the building.
Good, baby. What's good? You know, I've mourned the loss. We're over it. It's time to move on. We got the division round, like you mentioned. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
I'm excited, man. But, per usual.
That's a good jersey you got there, son.
I know, shout out to Shabazz. He asked me randomly who my favorite quarterback was. I was like, yo, Patrick Mahomes. That's my guy. He's like, all right, cool. I was like, why? He's like, no reason. Show up for Christmas. He's like, yo, Merry Christmas, gang. I'm like, oh, snap. So now I got a collection, got a little bit of a collection forming. The next on the list is Derrick Henry. And then for him, for Shabazz, I got to get him a Justin Jefferson jersey. But yeah, we'll talk about all that stuff later on next year. But for now, before we actually begin and talk about the games, you got to you gotta subscribe if you're new. You gotta tell your friends to tell their friends. Like we as families, huh? We family. Don Toretto, we family. For the family, for La Familia. And without further ado, let's get ready to hold on. That's that teacher voice. Hold on, that's that teacher voice. Word. But we got 4 games to discuss. Got the 2 Saturday, 2 on Sunday. No better than we're going to start the Saturday afternoon. We got Jacksonville coming off one of the most impressive comebacks in playoff history and NFL history. Down 27-0, 27 on basically 31-3 run. And they beat the Chargers. So they go on the road to Kansas City, to Mahomes' house. Now, full transparency. I did when we did our predictions last week. I was like, Chargers are going to beat the Jags. The Chargers are going to beat the Chiefs. Despite Mahomes being my favorite quarterback, I said, "Yo, I don't know. I thought the Chargers. The third time you face somebody, team getting healthy as a whole. I'm like, you know what? The Chargers finally get their lick back. I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I honestly thought that they could got number one seed because for those who do not know, only the number one seed gets a bye this year. So the Eagles, we'll talk about them next, actually, but they also had their first round bye. Chiefs had a first round bye. Typically, teams coming off a bye get a little rusty, you're like a little sluggish. But Andy Reid, been coaching for 21 years. He's 17-4 after a bye. I'll say let me say that again. 17-4 after a bye week. That means his team, they rest the first week, but they are watching film. They are prepared. They are making sure that they are ready to go at all times. And Patrick Mahomes, what was known does not have to be said. He is the best quarterback in the game right now. And I hate to sound like Nick Wright. Oh, the Arrowhead Invitational, but the only game he's lost at home was against Cincinnati last year, where he arguably had the worst second half of his career, the worst half of his career, throwing a lot of picks, overtime included, keeping Cincinnati in the game, and eventually Cincinnati goes on to beat them in overtime. Jacksonville, great story. They're a great team. Doug Peterson, Hall of Fame coach. They have a great quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. You got a lot of B to B plus players around him in Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk. Shout out to Christian Kirk. He's had a monster year. Marvin Jones, Travis Etienne, really his real rookie year showed up. He was rookie last year but got hurt. So it's like, okay, now they're showing that they can be competitive, especially going forward in that AFC South, the terrible division that it is. But Kansas City, man. You got Chris Jones. Fun fact. Shout out to Nick Wright. I know. Oh my God, Nick Wright. The Chiefs. So guess who leads the league in sacks? Guess what?
As a team,
As a team.
the Eagles.
Eagles. The Eagles lead the league in sacks. I think they had like 70. Second place, Kansas City. So the minds of, oh my God, Kansas City doesn't play defense. Yeah, they don't get the turnovers like that, but they get after the quarterback. They get after you. And Trevor Lawrence, on his first road playoff game, can he make him? Because when you're at home, you're not really freaking out. But Kansas City are the big dogs of the AFC. I think they show up, and I think they make it happen. I don't know about the spread. We'll talk about the spread later on, but I don't know about that spread of 8.5. But I think Kansas City, they make it happen.
Oh, fuck.
You're good. How you doing?
So the agent of chaos in me
I know. Oh my God.
wants to pick the upset so badly. Because same thing logically, right? The coaching advantage you would think is Andy Reid, but it's called out of the wash. I think Doug Peterson's a hell of a coach as well. Andy Reid is slightly better, but in terms of quality of coaching, I think it's a wash. Defense, I got to give it to the Jags because they're very opportunistic and they can get pressure. Offense, of course, is the Chiefs. You have Mahomes, Kelsey, Jerick McKinnon, all that. Which, fun fact, if you're going to do a parlay on touchdown scores, put him in. Because he had for 6 straight games of a touchdown. Like if I might throw $10. I said 10 cash. Whoa, $1. Him, Knox, and Chase. Just throwing that out there. But so it's basically a wash, right? I don't think the Jags this year can do it. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well. But am I secretly hoping for an upset? Damn right I am. Because last year, you think about the Cincinnati run, they had a number 1 pick, and then he got injured, and they had a top 5 pick, and they got Chase. Right? And then the second year Burrow, boom, Super Bowl run. I know he didn't get injured, but he had Urban Myers. That basically counts as an injury. So, same trajectory. Everyone's thinking he's like the next Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Now, I was one of Mahomes. I know that, but the fact that he still beat the Chiefs. And that bad first half, come back in the second half, Andrew Luck did it against the Chiefs. So, I'm frequently praying for the Jags because once my Ravens were out, we were supposed to play the Chiefs. But it's okay. I said I'm over it. I've grown up. I think the Chiefs win because Mahomes.
One more time and I'll believe you.
I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? All right. A little bitter because you damn right will pick the upset with the Ravens, of course. But I'm not gonna go against my better judgment and go with the upset. But damn, am I praying for it because chaos would ensued. And Nick Wright, his decision between the Prince I was promised and his favorite quarterback in Mahomes, that whole thing. I know he said he wouldn't be mad because if anyone's going to beat the Chiefs, he would rather it be the Prince I was promised. But I got the Chiefs. Because Mahomes is going to make a play for sure. Mahomes and Kelsey, when they're going to need a last-second touchdown or a last-second field goal, Mahomes and Kelsey. Why is my laughter going crazy? But Giants, Eagles, I'm keeping it straight a buck. Upset alert.
God damn it, Renault.
Upset alert. I think the formula to beat the Eagles was the same formula that they're going to use to beat the Eagles. Run the ball, control the clock, and bracket. Now, the difference between the Vikings and the Eagles, the Vikings had one receiver. Eagles got two. Because Devontae Smith, believe it or not, was top 10 in receiving yards this year. So was A.J. Brown.
Interesting. Did not know that. That's a fun fact.
Fun fact. So it's hard to, if you're going to stop one, you can do that, but you got to stop both. You can't do the same game plan against the Vikings that you had against the Eagles. Now, the last time they played at MetLife, Jalen Hurts was bomb, 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 going crazy. So it's hard. But Saquon, Daniel Jones, if he doesn't turn over the ball and can replicate that success he had against the Vikings and don't succumb to the pressure of Lincoln Financial Field, because again, you said it, first the team in the league in sacks was the Eagles. I think they had 4 guys with 10 sacks. Yep. That's very good. Very good. That's automatic, all pro. I get that. But is there a chance? Keep away and maybe getting a turnover or two? Because as great of a regular season that they had, remember last year, it was their first time in the playoffs. And no one has mentioned it at all because everyone's not overrating the hype train, but everyone's on Jalen Hurts' beef. Mainly Manuel Acho, former Eagle. He doesn't have a playoff win either. And he played horrible his first one. So if you're going to give Justin Herbert that treatment of, can you win a playoff game? Can you win a big one? Technically, Jalen Hurts hasn't won a playoff game either. Daniel Jones has. Now, am I trusting Daniel Jones over Jalen Hurts? No, I'm not. But I will say Jalen Hurts will be the reason why they win or lose the game. And I would never wish a black man's failure. But I trust Brian Daboll over Nick Sirianni. So give me the Giants.
Well, I hate when I go second. So
you I really say the same thing.
Because one, you can't, I hate the fact that you are going with the Giants too. I hate it. Now, those who are are season-long fans of ShabazzTV, this podcast, you will know that I talked all the trash yesterday. Shabazz has called the Giants overrated, The cardiac kids.
No, another overrated.
You definitely did. You definitely did.
I swear to God, I only said cardiac kids and the comeback kids. That's all I said. That's all I said. I never said it overrated. I just said cardiac kids. They're gonna let you down. They're not going to the Super Bowl, but they're gonna beat the Eagles.
That's a way we know that. That's fine. They're losing to San Francisco next week. But when I made my predictions last week, that I mapped out what was gonna happen. Everything almost happened, except for the freaking Chargers. Letting me down. But everything on the NFC, so far so good. So far so good. So why not ride with my original bet? Now, you said everything good about the Giants. You said everything good about the Eagles. The Eagles are favored. Duh. They're the number 1 seed. They were the best as a team roster-wise for the consistent part of the season. But Jalen Hurts dinging up his shoulder and coming back. He's trying to still get back into his MVP form. Because I honestly think I thought it was Mahomes for the longest time, but there was a great argument to be made that Jalen Hurts should have been MVP. Record with the best record in the entire league. He had comparable stats, not necessarily his passing stats, but as a player, he was making things happen. Like he showed that he was like, okay, leading, they took the next leap. Kind of like Lamar, Now, Lamar, when he won MVP, had like 4,000 passing yards and like 40 touchdowns passing. And he had all crazy stuff too. But back to the Eagles. The offense is crazy. Offense for the Eagles can score on anybody when Jalen Hurts is healthy. I think the Giants, the same magic that they had in 2007, same magic that they had in 2011. Scrappy. They should have been in the playoffs. They should have been in the playoffs both of those years. But in 2007, they had a big upset. Or especially in 2011, they had a big upset against. I think they played the Packers.
The Packers, yeah, they were the 1 seed. They went to
Packers
Lambeau
were the 1 seed. Packers were the 1 seed. Saints were the 3 seed. I remember that year. Then San Francisco was the 2 seed. Crazy how things work out. But Packers 15-1. The Giants go up there with Tom Coughlin's red face, basically because it was so cold. And they play good defense and run the ball. That's what the Giants do. They play solid, great defense. Kayvon Thibodeau has showed up and showed out for the last 5 weeks. Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy, is hilarious. His little do my dance, baby, do your dance. Oh, snap. Hold on. I closed out my thing by accident. Am I still here? I am still here. Cool.
You are still here.
I hit a button by accident on my Mac. Like locked me out real quick. But point is, Daniel Jones. The key to this game is Daniel Jones. Will you replicate your performances? Everyone's starting to, okay, Danny Dimes. Okay, Daniel Jones. Are you the guy for New York? Eli Manning wasn't the best quarterback in the league at any point in his career. But when the playoffs came, you knew, all right.
You can't spell elite without Eli.
You can't spell elite without Eli.
I heard that shit all throughout middle school and high school.
We heard that shit, bro. It was annoying because it was either they got to the playoffs and won the fucking Super Bowl or they sucked. There was no in between. There was no, they were 8-8 or whatever. No, they either snuck into the playoffs as a 6 seed or a 5 seed, or they freaking they snuck into the playoffs and won the Super Bowl, or they sucked. Now, the one time they got into the playoffs was 2013, and it was a freaking not 2013. It was like 2016, 2015 with the frozen tundra, the Miami boat crew, whatever. But that other time, other time they got in the playoffs was either winning the Super Bowl or they sucked. They took care of business last week against a fraudulent Minnesota Vikings team. Did the Eagles peak too early? Those are some of the questions that are going to be coming out. Damn, if the Giants somehow pull off the upset, did the Eagles peak too early? They were 11-0, I think 11-0, and then lost to the Commanders, and then they kind of sputtered toward the end of the season. And then got hurt. It wasn't the same. Lane Johnson coming back potentially for this game as well.
Well, he playing.
He's
He
playing.
He definitely going, bro. Football players have a different mentality. He's playing.
Oh, sports players. Not even bro. I have a chance to go to the NFC title game and get myself another ring. Yeah, I'm playing. F that. And the body and all that stuff. Whatever. Point is, I think the Giants don't turn the ball over. I think they control the clock. I think they play fantastic defense and keep the Eagles' offense off the field. And it has Jalen Hurts kind of pushing, like, damn, we got to score fast. We got to score fast. And the Eagles want to run the ball. They want to play. They want to run the ball, play good defense, and keep the ball out of other people's hands. If you can flip that on its head, I think the Giants have a good shot. What do we know? Well, that's Saturday night. There's also an amazing UFC fight card as well. So if you're into like gambling, so there's a lot of gambling opportunities, but gamble responsibly. But now, Sunday afternoon, we got two heavy hitters in the AFC. A rematch of the non-finished game. The non-finished Week 17 game between the Bengals and the Bills. I said this before. The Bengals got screwed. I think the Bengals were going to romp the Bills. Romp them. I picked them to win the first time. I'm picking them to win this time. I think the Bengals, quote-unquote, upset the Bills. I'm not going to put it in caps, so it's not too crazy. Here's the reason why. Okay, so shout out to your Ravens. Reason why that game was close. Sorry to bring up old wounds. Y'all playing fantastic defense, and y'all run the ball.
Indeed.
Like with no quarterback rushing, like they have running backs who run the ball effectively well.
The Bills know how that is.
The Bills do not have that. James Cook is emerging as the starting. Like he's probably usurped Singletary at this point, but he's not anything crazy.
That's a good word, bro. Usurp, like it.
Oh, thanks. You feel me? Really SAT words, you know, for me. A little bit of a math teacher here and there. Drop some English dimes. But no, you got James Cook, who is a rookie. Yeah, Singletary. And this has been a problem that has lamented the Bills for years. Josh Allen is their leading rusher. Typically, your quarterback should not be your leading rusher. Even with Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Jalen Hurts ran the ball a lot, and he had great plays and stuff. The leading rusher for Philly was Miles Sanders. They had a number one running back. If your running game has to be generated by your quarterback, who is phenomenal. I'm not taking any shot at Josh Allen. The only shot I'll give him is the fact that he turns the ball over so much. That's another reason why I'm picking the Bengals. But let's talk about it. I said the Ravens played great defense and run the ball. Buffalo just gave up 31 points, really 24 because of the fumble return for a touchdown, but 24 points to Skylar Thompson, the third string quarterback for the Dolphins. Also, Miami played cover zero for like the first half. If you don't know what cover zero is, it's basically we are man coverage everybody, no safety help. You have to get home. You're basically pressuring your 8. You're blitzing with 8. You're playing cover zero. Hopefully, no one gets behind you. And Josh Allen has an amazing arm and can dot you up if you do that. Cincinnati's disciplined. They've been in big games. They've been to a Super Bowl. Buffalo has yet to been to a Super Bowl. They have been anointed as kind of like not the team of destiny, but they have been anointed as a team of destiny because of DeMar Hamlin. Obviously, prayers up for him. Hopefully, every day he makes continuous progress. But you don't have a great defense, Buffalo. You can't run the ball. You can't play time control offense. And your quarterback, who is electric, is Brett Favre-esque, who whenever you throw the ball, you're thinking, damn, is he going to go to the Bills or go to the Bengals?
Damn.
With all that said, I think the Bengals, I mean, it's a playoff, so things are going to be tight and close, but I'm picking the upset. Like, I think the Bengals would have won in Week 17. I think they're playing for the fact that, hey, we should have been the number 2 seed or at least in contention for the 1 seed. This game should be a neutral site, not at Buffalo. This game should be actually a neutral site game because who knows what would have happened in this game. So I think it should be a neutral site. I think Cincinnati understands it should be a neutral site. If anything, this should be at home. This is all the markings of, a team of destiny versus the team that got screwed. Now, what happens next week? What happens to be seen. But I think the Bengals take care of business. I'm not giving a score prediction, but I think the Bengals take care of business. And also, can anyone on the Bills guard Jamar Chase? I haven't even talked about Bengals offense at all. I haven't even said anything about the Bengals offense at all. But can anyone guard Jamar Chase? Can anyone guard T. Higgins? Probably, arguably, the best 1-2 punch in the league, next to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. No one can one-on-one guard him, and it's just the team defense for Buffalo is lacking a lot. They have a second team All-Pro. Oh no, first team All-Pro, Matt Milano, the linebacker. But otherwise, leave a lot to be desired. So give me the Bengals. Simple as that.
All right. You make some compelling points, my brother.
But
it's hard, bro. It's hard, and
you cannot abstain.
I know. I have to make a choice. I'm going with the Bills, bro. It's going to be hella close, but I think the NFL script is there for a reason. The script is telling me, first of all, the NFL is stupid. No one wants, get it. 49ers, Cowboys, they're two of the biggest franchises historically that we've had. It's a rivalry, honestly. It's a historic rivalry that dates back to like the 80s and the 90s with Deion Sanders and the crew. This one right here should have been the last game. Or at least you switch the Giants, Eagles. You make this game Saturday night. You switch it. But regardless, it's here we are. Because the ratings on this game is about to be huge. Because as you mentioned, this is the game that should happen, but never did. The Phantom game. Let's call it the Phantom game. I believe the Bills are the team of destiny. At least to get to the Super Bowl. And I know I said I'm over it.
You're not over it.
So fuck the Bengals on this side. It's Bengals. I will pray for their downfall. I pray for no injuries. I don't pray for injuries. I just pray for them to lose the game. That's the distinction that a lot of football fans tend to make. Oh, I hope everything goes wrong for the Bengals or for whatever team they despise. No. I just hope they lose the game. How they lose the game is irrelevant. I just hope they lose the game.
Facts. Fair enough.
You feel me? We don't need another Russell Gage situation or DeMar Hamlin or Ryan Shazier or any of these things. We don't need that. I just need the final score to be Bills up by X amount, Bengals take the L and go home. Because I'm tired of the narrative that, the Bengals, because the Bengals are lucky. T. Higgins is young. Jamar Chase is young. Joe Burrow is young. But guess what? T. Higgins was drafted in the second round. Oh, wait. You have to extend him now. That bleeds your team. Joe Burrow's eligible for an extension after this offseason. Oh, wait. You have to give him a lot. If Deshaun Watson got that amount and Lamar Jackson is doing what he's doing and hasn't been signed yet, granted, whatever. Joe Burrow's going to get at least 250, 300. Hell, you might even do a Mahomes deal and do it 500 over 10 years. Do that. Because I know I saw a thing on Bleacher Report. Mark Davis wants to have him long term. Jamar Chase is next year. So you guys are lucky that you have the fortune of getting to the playoffs and going on a deep playoff run at your younger years. But you're going to realize a lot of teams, if we have the quarterback right, we can make it far. But you might have to sacrifice a Tyreek Hill. You might have to sacrifice a Devontae Adams. You might have to sacrifice X, Y, and Z in different pieces to keep certain players around. Fortunately, that's the way the business works. But that's sidetracked. Back to the Bills in this game. You are absolutely right. Who the hell is going to guard Jamar Chase? Who's going to guard T. Higgins? This is going to be a shootout. On some last year Chiefs Bills divisional round, this might be that and more. Because last week, Shout out to Gabe Davis. He was anemic throughout the whole regular season, with the exception of a few games. He had 100 yards last week and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs is always going to be Diggs. He's like the most consistent receiver in the league that we have right now. Because he's always going to get his touches. He's always going to get his catches. Always going to get his yards. Always going to at least let me get to the end zone. And Dawson Knox, I was complaining because he has not, like a good like month and a half stretch, he did not touch the end zone. He ain't catch no passes. But ever since, I forgot what game it was, he's been consistently getting the ball in the end zone. He might not get the yardage, but he gets it where it matters, and he puts the points on the board. And both defenses are ass. I'm not going to lie. The Bengals are lucky, but luck is only preparation, meaning opportunity, as we both know. I think that they make a play. I think both teams have high explosive games. I believe that Josh Allen, as you mentioned, will definitely create a couple turnovers. But when push comes to shove, I think he will make a play that Joe Burrow just can't. And they win. A close one.
All right.
It's going to be close regardless. But fuck the Bengals. And finally, Cowboys 49ers at Levi.
Come on now.
I'm going for the 49ers, bro. It's fake Cowboys on this side. In a big spot like this, if they win this game, they're going to the chip. I ain't gonna lie. If they win this game, I'm basically, because all they need is win one and they in the Super Bowl. I ain't saying they're gonna win the chip. They're in the chip. Being in there and winning it is totally different. It all depends on who you play. If they could beat the 49ers, I'm not calling it. You're not calling it either. We see eye to eye on that. If they can beat the 49ers, they can beat anybody in the NFC. I think that they won't, because Dak played damn near a perfect game against the Buccaneers. But the Buccaneers the entire season were who all we thought we were. 8-9, mediocre offense, mediocre defense, injured all over. Tom Brady is not who he used to be. Mike Evans, it's fuck Mike Evans for you on this side. That's who the Bucs were. The 49ers is a different ball game. Maybe there's room for an upset for sure. Brock Purdy has not fucked up yet. Does he mess up? That's the looming question. Does he have a stinker? But if he does have a stinker, I believe that the team around him can still make things happen and make them win this game. Defense. Dak Prescott is going to make a mistake. It's almost inevitable at this spot, because they won a playoff game, first time in a long time. You push them up, that fall from grace is going to hit even harder. And Nicholas John Bosa, Frederick Warner, Tre'Davious Ward, Talufunga Mafunk, Chopamalo Jr., I'll just say him like that because that's what, bro. I think they just make plays. Eric Armstead, they just a healthier team. They're a better team. I think they win this game. It's going to be close because I do believe Brock Purdy does struggle either in the first half or in the beginning of the third quarter. But then he snaps back, he locks in, and they do what they do. If we got to do a check down to McCaffrey, he takes it to the house, or check Robinson would screen to Debo, and he takes it to the crib. It's overwhelming. So go 49ers and fuck the Cowboys.
Okay, so we agree after Cowboys. That's not what we're talking about. I'm going with the Niners for a couple reasons. One, I'm monetarily invested. I made a monetary 25 cash with when I was in New York, so near Christmas, like week 17, week 16, it was at plus 700 for the Niners to win the Super Bowl. My largest bet is 25 cash, straight up, to win the Super Bowl. So I'm monetarily invested. But outside of that, and this argument that I'm using now goes against my better judgment, because if I was consistent, I would pick. All of my other games I've been consistent with, except for the Giants. The Giants are playing with heart. I don't believe in Philly. I think Philly picked too early. But with this argument, right? Two teams who are relatively close. Don't let the records fool you. They're relatively close. At any point on the field, I used this argument last week with the Niners. Will they have the best player on the field at any point during the game? The Niners?
Oh yeah,
Offensive, when the Niners offense is on the field.
McCaffrey.
Trent Williams, McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo. That's four right there off rip. When the Cowboys are on offense, cool. You got Dak, you got Zeke, Tony Pollard. No, you got Fred Warner, Nicholas John Bosa, Troy Polamalu Jr. That's just off rip. Those are all pros and defensive player of the year. And the kicking, Robbie Good as Gold versus Brett maybe Maher. Bro, at every position, at every time the team is on the field, maybe with the exception of kick return and punt return, every other position in the field or anytime the Niners are on offense or the Niners are on defense, they'll have the best player or the first top two players on the field. Now, Micah Parsons needs to pull off a Lawrence Taylor or have the same kind of impact he had last week. But that Niners offensive line that has a lot of Notre Dame players on it, by the way, just going to throw it out there, they don't give up pressure. Brock Purdy has a lot of time to throw. I also agree with you. I do think that he will struggle, just like last week. And he took a few series to get into the groove. And I said this last week, I say it again. I don't trust Dak. I didn't even trust him last week. I picked the Cowboys to win because it's fade Tampa Bay on this side. But now that Tampa Bay is gone, it's fade Cowboys on this side. Because and you have preached this a lot. Consistency. Can you repeat the same thing over and over? The Niners have won 10 straight games. I lied. Is it 10 or 11? I think it's 11 straight. Brock Purdy has won 6 straight or 7 straight. No, 9. He's won 10 straight. He has won 10 straight or something like that. Long win streak. Consistency. Point is consistent. Even the Niners defense had one hiccup against the Raiders. But they are overall as a unit the best defense in football. I will take their units, their defense over any other unit in football. Even the Eagles defense, which is fantastic at times. Most of the time, they are fantastic at getting pressure. But if you can evade that pressure and protect them, I think Brock Purdy elevates that. The weapons for the Niners are insane. We already discussed it. I just think the Niners score more points than the Cowboys. Not saying that Dak Prescott is going to have a bad game. I actually think he'll have a pretty solid game. Solid. But to beat the Niners, you need to have the A+ game. And I don't think Dak can do it. Simple as that. And that he is my lock-in before I tweak out. He has been on this list for like 3 weeks in a row. But he is my lock-in before I tweak out because, cool, even if you lose, you can't go out like a bitch.
Ooh. Some strong language.
I'm sorry. You can't go out looking sorry. You can't. You can't.
You're talking shit. If you want to say you look like a bitch, you caught me off guard. I was like, oh.
You can't go out looking like, damn. Like you have to go out like Josh Allen last year. The best game probably ever in a losing effort. And your team just can't stop anybody. The Niners are expected to win this game. But Dak, you cannot be the reason and give them ammunition to add fuel to the fire. It can't be 10-0. You throw a pick 6 and 17-0. And it's like, damn, all of a sudden you can't run the ball. You get out of your game plan and you're panicking. You can't catch up. So Dak, Mike McCarthy, Dak, whatever you want to consider, the Dallas Cowboys, especially Dak Prescott, can't return the ball over. You tied with the league in picks with Davis Mills, and you missed 5 games. That is unacceptable. He didn't throw any picks this time, but he's facing a considerably better defense this week. So just don't do too much. Don't be the reason you lose. Simple as that. And my second, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. The Giants should not win this game. We both are picking the Giants. Homerism. Also, I just don't trust Philly. Part of the reason why I don't trust Philly is Jalen Hurts. Prove me wrong. Similar to Dak. Don't be the reason why your team loses. Don't throw a pick. Don't act like not yourself anymore. There's a whole lot of factors in this, but point blank period, don't be the reason why your team loses. You were an MVP candidate for 14 weeks, and you fell off because you got hurt. Remind the world and remind us, hey, nah, we the best team in the NFL. Show us and show out. Word.
First candidate is Joe Burrow. Oh, wrong way. He did not play good. He played horrible last week.
He did. He definitely did.
Actually, I put Mixon in there. So I just put the whole offense. Bengals offense. Now, we all know, caveat, excuse already. Oh, it's hard to be the team 3. It's hard to be the team best out of 3. It's hard to do that. But it be like that sometimes. 49ers, they have no issues. They locked in and spanked the shit out of Seattle. Now I know my defense is considerably better than Seattle's, but it shouldn't, like, you got bailed out. Got offense, Joe Mixon talking mad trash. He got to back it up. So if there's any culprit, he's the main culprit for why you guys are on here. But I'll let it leave at the whole team because, you know, you guys need a boost. If you guys are going to win this game according to Natural and go against the Chiefs or the Jags, hoping it's the Jags, and win, go to another Super Bowl back-to-back seasons, hey, you need that. Second, I'll just co-sign with you. Actually, no, I won't co-sign with you. Josh Allen.
Let's go.
I was going to co-sign with the Jalen Hurts part because, you know, first club game that you need to win before that narrative because, you know, you're black, so that goalpost always extends. Win or lose is going to extend regardless. So, I hope he gets his first. But am I really hoping it? No. Fuck Philly. I want to see up here. But Josh Allen played mad roller coaster. He had his ups, had his turnovers, 2 picks, 3 fumbles, like that. And this is to everyone in the media that's blinded by the Josh Allen hype train. Because, you know, interceptions isn't the only form of turnover, right? People be like, oh, he has like a 17 to 5 interception ratio, like whatever in the playoffs. I'm like, yo, yeah, no, he has mad fumbles, right? Like I'm gonna get it in our commercial break. I'm gonna find that because it was on the clip of First Things First. I'm gonna find it. When I find it, I'll reset. I will really tell y'all what I see and show you guys before we do the spreads. I'm on his ass because one thing I hate.
How about Josh Allen?
Yes.
That he leads the league in fumbles and picks. He's like,
no, not that stat. His playoff stats. Everyone thinks he's a magical playoff performer.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But he has mad turnovers combined, not just interceptions. And people are blinded by, oh, the stat is turnover, touchdown interception ratio. Interceptions aren't the only form of turnovers.
Facts.
So when we go to commercial break in a couple seconds, before we do the spreads, I'm going to find that. I'm going to show y'all. And y'all going to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to make my case. Because one thing I hate when people are blinded to a player and his greatness. Because I do believe he's great. I believe he's awesome. But let's not be blinded by, if this was any other quarterback, people would not be favoring him the way they are. So let's stop the cap, y'all. We'll be right back in like a good 2 minutes. I got to find the video first. But when we come back, I got y'all.
Another production.
Chuck, guaranteed. Drew Marshall. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
All right, so before we do the spreads, I have to show y'all this. Right? So if you add it up, that's 5, 10, 17 touchdowns and a 3 interception. 17 touchdowns to 3 interception ratio. That's high. But you got to account for the fumbles. So that's 3, 5, 7, 10, 11. So a 17 to 11 touchdowns turnover ratio. That this is not to besmirch the man's name, because in the beginning of the season I was a fan. I am still a fan. I was like, I always gotta say this. Me and you were the head hunters of the fan club, the MVP hype train, all that. But when people overrate it and be like, oh, he doesn't mess up, or he's not the reason why they lose games. No. That's where I draw the line. Because I'm a fan of my team, I'm a fan of players, but when they fuck up or when they mess up, I'll hold them accountable. When they do great, I let them shine, but I'm not afraid to pull them down when they deserve it. That's what the media needs to start doing. But with that somber note, let's get into the spreads. Dun, dun, dun.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
What do you mean by that, sir?
Letting the media control the narrative. Wouldn't let that happen to me. Just gonna throw that out there.
Word. We control the narrative on ShabazzTV, right? Because it's our shit.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
You just throwing shit out there just to throw it out there, man.
What the fuck?
Are you done, son?
I am done. All right. So there's only 4 games to bet this weekend. Please gamble responsibly. If you lose, don't blame us, please. We just 2 random dudes who try to make some little money. But if you win, God bless us with a like. Subscribe if you're new, tell a friend, all that good jazz. Word. So 4 games to go through. Let's talk about them. Jags going to Kansas City. Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. Let's not pick. Let's not be bummed. We're not. Let's not be. It's only 4 games. Let's be bold here. We can't go straight up money line.
You can't. I got it. Today for the rest of the playoffs, I got you.
We can't go money. We gotta pick the spread itself. Me, I'm going Chiefs minus 8.5.
Wow.
I think Chiefs, and I actually researched the stat. So he's been coaching for 24 years as a head coach. Andy Reid after a bye. 24 of them as a head coach. Master of bye week preparation. 27-4. Let that sink in.
But he's been a head coach for 24 years.
Playoff games when he was in the NFC, he would win, whatever.
All right. Yeah.
He also was on the Eagles for great years. 27-4 after a bye. I think Chiefs smoke them.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
I guess Shabazz. All right, Giants. Number 6 Giants on the road to number 1 Philly. We both got the Giants winning, so we might as well get the points. Might as well. Word. Get the points where you can. Now, if you think the Giants are going to win, pretty sure money line value is much higher. I can tell you what it is right now. If you have to bet $100, you probably win X amount. But I'll tell you right now, dismiss NFL Giants plus 290, meaning you bet $100 and the Giants win, you'd win 290.
The money line?
Yeah,
Plus 7.5.
the 7.5, yeah, but it's like minus on 108.
Oh, okay.
But if you think the Giants straight up winning, well, you missed the whole time, son. You missed the whole show. We talked for the Giants for 10 minutes. Yeah, we're picking the Giants to win straight up. Well, we can't do straight up, but we're doing the spreads. Word. Any thoughts before we move on?
Nah, I agree with you, my brother.
All right, cool. Number 3, Bengals heavyweight fight. Bengals, Bills. What you jacking?
Can I abstain?
No, you cannot.
Fuck. I say Bengals plus 5.5. I don't think. Oh, get it right. Lock in right now. I don't think they get spanked. I don't think, because that's basically 6 points. 6 points is basically a touchdown. I think it's closer than that. I think it's going to be a last-second field goal or whatever. If this doesn't hit because of fucking overtime, well, actually, no, they changed the rules. Because of who? Josh Allen. Dumbass thing.
What was that?
I just disagree with the whole thing. Because if you had 60 minutes to win the game, coin flip, you win. That's 50-50 chance. You win that, you score first, and you end it. If you don't get the ball, you stop them from scoring one time. Even if they score a field goal, you have a chance to win the game. You don't need to change it to where they score a touchdown. It's not college. The NFL is king because it's not college. But to the game, though, I think the Bengals, they don't get spanked. It's pretty close. Yeah.
I got the Bengals winning, so of course I'm gonna do the 5.5.
Get out of here, you roach.
What do you mean you wrote, bro? You're the one that you don't have no courage or convictions, bro.
Bro, I'm smart. We both know it's not gonna be a blowout.
You ain't got no courage or convictions, bro.
You both know it's not gonna be a blowout. But anyway,
I know. That's what I'm saying. I agree. The Bengals gonna win in a blowout.
This guy. 29ers.
So we just out here agreeing for everything, huh?
Bro, it's kind of hard when it's 4 games, bro.
Yeah, it is hard. You're right.
Because we know what these teams are at this point. It's the playoffs. We know what these teams are. We know what they mean. We know what they represent. We know how they can win and how they can lose. We both aren't over 50% in betting these games for a reason. We know this shit, son. You know, it's hard. It's hard to disagree with a smart motherfucker.
We need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
You feel me? Word. That boy cheese on the button up now. Yeah.
You got me. Yeah, Niners are gonna win comfortably. Not comfortably, because again, it's the NFL playoffs. The divisional round typically has like the best games of the weekend in historical past. No games are really blowouts. I just think the Chiefs are the one like exception. I just think the Chiefs, after a bye week, like they're gonna show up and show out. But otherwise, I think all these games should be close. Like this should not be. Now the Jags do scare me with that backdoor cover potential. They definitely do, because they can score. But those are our picks, ladies and gentlemen. That's our talk. I mean, we got 4 games. Enjoy while we can until the long off season. Shabazz has videos to make regarding over/under predictions and how wrong he was, and
now hold yourself accountable, because if you don't, who is? So for me, that's it. What else?
I'm good. Mahomes is gonna take care of business. Bet is over. Bet everything over. Word. But that's all I got to say. Till Tuesday from my side. I got bad kids to teach. I'm messing around. I love all my students. But close us out, Shabazz, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Word. So for me, this was the divisional round spreads, divisional round pick'ems, and all that jazz. As always, I'm your host, ShabazzTV, co-host / compatriot, best friend, Natty Bats. Yeah. I'm about to go talk to my shorty and probably watch the episode of Suits before I go to bed. I'm into that now. You better be okay with it. Family guy. With that said, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. Shout out to Infamous Gamers. Go Giants. It's fuck Philly. NYC is the best city on earth. All these Philly goes, they're gonna do that shit home. Fuck is you talking about? So word. Love you guys. See you guys on Tuesday. Peace. If I can get it. If I can get it. Can I get it? Can I get it? Hey.
It's funny, I know about it. Certain to somebody. Sometimes.